special webcast of the market overview. And before we start, as we always do, I just want to show you the caveat about risk in all markets, and pretty much in all time frames. So if you want to read this whole disclosure, you can go to this link. And what we'll be doing today is I'll be going over some markets. I think some key markets in the news, general markets like the Dow and the Nasdaq and so forth. Then I'll talk briefly about some tools you can use in your trading. And then I'll go over some more markets, specific equity markets or Forex markets. And then I'll turn it over to Paul for some questions. So let me start off with some charts here. Let me just bring up the chart. Okay, so we'll first look at some general markets. And this is the type of thing we do each day in mycandlecharts.com. We go over maybe over 10 or 15 markets. So we'll go over the composite. And for those not familiar with my analysis, this is a 20-day moving average. The blue line, simple moving average, is a 50-day moving average. And I look at the cross of the moving average as determining the long-term trend. So a dead cross, what the Japanese call a dead cross, or the short-term moving average crossing on the long-term moving average, tells you the longer-term trend, at least tells me. You know, we all have different ways of determining longer-term trends. Some may look at long-term channels in a weekly. I like looking at this. And then if the short-term moving average crosses above the long-term moving average, it's called the golden cross, and the longer-term trend turns positive. Of course, the downside with many Western tools, including this one, is that by the time you get an indication, the market could turn already. And that's what's great about the candle. So here we had a falling window, and notice the long-term trend was still up. You know, ultimately it did turn down over here with the 20 crossing below the 50, a dead cross. But you know, we did get the first indication of a market turning with this falling window. So anyway, we're looking at the composite. Long-term trend is down. The 20-day slope is turning up, so that does increase it a little bit. Short-term trend, I'm viewing it as positive. You remember, whatever you do with a bar chart, you could do with a candlestick chart. So the market is in a bull channel, actually a kind of a wedge formation. The only issue I'm looking at is, first of all, there's a doji, which tells me the trend could be running out of steam. And notice the falling window over here. Okay, the whole window is resistance. So keep an eye on this falling window as potential resistance, but nice little bullish engulfing pattern here. And as supposed to happen, or in theory, where a bullish engulfing pattern, the green wraps around the red, okay, it becomes support. And look what happened the next session. Now, keep in mind, you know, hopefully that you'll get some ideas from looking at these specific markets, but all the education we do, whether we do market recaps like we do here each day in mycandlecharts.com, or educational seminars like this, even if you don't trade these markets, we always provide education. So now you know a bullish engulfing pattern potentially becomes support, which was confirmed, a falling window, a gap down becomes resistance, which was confirmed here. A doji tells us that the trend is the bull trend could be running out of steam, but keep in mind this still is a new high close, so the short-term trend is still mostly higher. Okay, and for those who have issues with sound, actually you won't be able to hear me. The sound is coming through okay on my end. We will be making a recording of this, so don't worry. For those who happen to lose sound, you know, with so many people on the internet, sometimes the internet gets overwhelmed. Anyway, so that's on the composite, and this rising window at first potential support. Look at some other indexes. Here we have on the S&P, the short-term trend is also up. Long-term trend down, but the 20-day sloping up, so it's a little less negative. What's a little more positive, you know, here again we have a bullish engulfing pattern as support. Right over here. Okay, in this rising window, this is actually an island bottom. Market gaps down and gaps up. The island is the rising window potentially as first support. But what's nice about this, or it depends if you're bullish or bearish, But what's been happening, for those who've been following our market recap each day, who are members of mycalendtrust.com, and I'll tell you a little about that in a couple of minutes, the market has been stalling. Let me do a Fibonacci retracement. Make it a little bit more exact. And you can see, although we focus on candles, we always use Western tools. So what's interesting, see this 50% retracement right over here, okay? From the high of the move to the low of the move. And notice how that 50% retracement stopped the rallies, okay? Right over here. And notice what happened. Now this old resistance, change of polarity, became support. So this is first potential support right around 2650 to 2640. And we're looking at the small falling window. Look how nicely these candles work. And this is why it's so important to have the education on how to use candles correctly, because you may have a doji, for example, and sometimes you act on it and sometimes you don't. So it's not only recognizing the candlestick signals, but what to do with them. And again, that's what our tools, I'll talk about a little bit, some ways to get our tools very quickly and at special prices. But here's a nice example of a falling window that takes on more importance. Why? Because the market confirmed it, confirmed that falling window as resistance. And here again, like the other markets, the short-term trend is up, higher highs, and higher lows. Okay, and in fact, let me do this here because going back to the composite, because that was also a 50% correction, which we got above, but I'm going to use the change of polarity in that as well as first support. See this old resistance? As long as resistance is tested twice, so here was tested, we have a bear heart on me, tested twice, look what's become support. So on the composite, right around the 78.80 area, and okay, and that was the S&P we talked about before. And let's look at the Dow. Okay, so here on the Dow, long-term trend is down, but a little 20 is sloping up, so that's a little less negative. Short-term trend up. Not surprisingly, you have to nudge a little bit more neutral because of the doji, but we always have to think of candles in context. Remember I said before, sometimes you'd act on a doji and sometimes you would wait for maybe bearish confirmation. Here it's a doji, which normally tells us the market is tired. But considering this move since it's nice bullish engulfing pattern, which by the way became support, what's been happening with the highs and the lows and the closes? Okay, higher highs mainly, higher lows, and look at the close today. Is the close today the highest close that this market has made in maybe 3 or 4 weeks? Yes. So although there's a doji there and a doji becomes potential first resistance, to become a little bit more negative, you need a close under the doji's close. And here again, magic. See how nicely this works? And this is what education is all about. This is information you could use for your own trading. And there's lots more great stuff, when you become educated in the right ways to use candles and how we combine them with Western technicals. Change of polarity, old resistance, look what became support. So potentially first support area, the doji, potentially first resistance, to me minor because it's a new high close. The more important resistance all together, the falling window, which, remember, the whole window is potential resistance. The top of the window is a major resistance, but you could see where it stalled right within the falling window. Okay, we'll look at gold. Then I'm going to look at crude and some currencies. But let me look at gold. Okay, I look at a nearby continuation contract. nearby continuation contract. So here, the long-term trend is, I would have it as neutral. See the 20s touching for 20s touching the 50s. So the long-term trend is neutral. New high close for the move though. So the fact that we've had, and I like just, looking at higher highs and higher lows, make it very simple. The old KISS principle, keep it simple, stupid. Right? So nice bull channel. Okay, this is not a dark cloud cover, by the way. Okay, for a dark cloud cover, the black candle has to close under the middle of the green candle. I don't have the Nison candle scanner software on here, but that's one great use for it. That's our software that automatically recognizes my favorite candlestick signals. And this would not show up as a dark cloud cover because the red candle didn't get more than halfway under the green candle. So the fact it's a new high close is a plus. So a common question I'm asked is, where is next resistance? I go back as far as necessary. And as such, I'm looking at a monthly chart going back to 2011 and 12 on a monthly chart. So based on that, we're looking at the psychological $1,800 level as next potential resistance. And let me show you something really cool also. There's just so much we can go through that I don't have time here. Okay, anybody recognize what this is? Okay, the Japanese call this a box range. And what's nice about the box range is once you break out, you have a minimum price target. So once the market, and there's a monthly, again, you could use candles in all time frames and for your investments. If you look at weekly or monthly, intraday, it doesn't matter. The strategies that you learn from us are applicable in all markets and all time frame. And so once the market breaks out of the box range, take the height of the box, and I'll be conservative. We'll go from here to here. Okay, so from about 1370, say from about 1170 to 1370, what is that? $200. You add 200 to 1370, you get a minimum target of 1570. Okay, now remember, targets don't mean resistance, but once the market broke above this, okay, you had a target, and what should it become once the market closed above 1370? What should become support? Right, 1370. What happened the next session? So they're great strategies to trade box range breakouts, how to set targets, how to set protective stops, how to set a trailing stop to lock your profits in, and so much more. But we're looking for resistance at the potentially 1800 level. Getting a lot of questions. Let me quickly go over some of the tools because we're getting questions about how you can learn these tools, some of the strategies that I'm discussing, and then I'll get back on and I'll look at Amazon and some currencies, and we'll look at some overseas market like the Indian market, the Nifty, and we'll look at Apple. But let me just quickly go through this, and then Paul will be on after I do the other markets to answer your questions. So if you go to this link here, candlercharts.com Thrive, we've made a lot of different options depending on your needs. I made reference to mycandlercharts.com. That is our trading community where we do the market recap. What I'm doing now, me and my staff, Sil and Brian, who are both Nison certified trainers who've been working with me for years, do all these markets plus many more. We do a strategy session where you can give us markets of your choice. We have an options session once a week. We have Forex once a week. We have chart challenges to test your candlestick knowledge. We also have a great visual candlestick glossary. The Candlestick Express class, this is great if you're new to candles or if you want a refresher. Okay, we have a mega package. This is the alpha to omega, or A to Z, or as they say in England, A to Z of the candlesticks. This goes from ground zero all the way to the most advanced candlestick signals and Western signals and trade management and risk management. You also get access to candlesticks. We do not a class, but you get a quiz where you could take a test, and if you pass, you get a little diploma. So it's a great way to confirm your knowledge. And in general, we have so many options. We have software and online training. And for example, the software I mentioned, Nison Candle Scanner, where you can scan through hundreds or thousands of markets and find bullish engulfing patterns or windows. You could pull up a chart and you can see all the candlestick signals as defined by me, so you know they're valid. And if you're not sure about what you need, you're going to take, I don't have it here, there's a screenshot, but there's actually some questions when you go to this link here. You fill it out and it'll show you the best particular educational tool to help with your specific style of trading or investing. And the best way actually is you can just email Paul at candlecharts.com and he'll walk you through what's the best tools for you. Again, Paul will be on in a couple of minutes with the ability. He'll be on to answer any of your questions. So what we want to do here is kind of give you the different options. But again, if you're not sure, when you go to this link, you could just answer a couple of questions and it'll be a customized package for your needs. Okay, so let me go back to some other markets here. Okay, let's look at, let me go here. Okay, we will look at Nifty. And again, even if you're not trading the Indian market, which this is, okay, all the strategies you learn here, and when we analyze any market, you could use in all markets and all time frames. So here, because it's an overseas market, there's so many gaps, I don't look at them there. So I'll look at a weekly chart to get a little better sense of trend. So here we have a weekly chart. Now, obviously, with the markets closed tomorrow, this is the close of the week. And so here, the longest green candle we had in a while. Now, the first sign if the bears were losing steam was this particular candlestick. And again, for those who sign up to mycandlecharts.com, our member site, you'll have access to all my favorite candlestick signals, the definitions, a visual representation, what they mean. And here's one of them. This is a high wave candle, long upper and lower shadow, and that shows us the market's confused. I'm not going to go into detail exactly why it does that, but it shows the market's confused. Was the market confused down through here? No, right? Long red candles, a bit of a lower shadow, but nonetheless, very weak sessions. This is the first sign that the bears were losing steam. Not a bullish signal, but at least a sign the bears were losing momentum and maybe a time to think about covering shorts, or for those a little bit more risk-oriented, to think about going long with a stop under here. Now, as far as resistance is concerned, okay, I do look at windows on a weekly chart, but if you have something like this on a daily chart, windows don't mean much. A weekly chart right here, and okay, around 29.5, and the more important resistance is over here, right around 31.25. And there's very important psychological reasons why this old support, once broken, becomes resistance. Again, I don't have time to go into it here, all the psychology behind it, because I want to keep this session very, very short. But you can see how nicely that worked out. So with this, okay, the long-term trend is still down, but short-term trend based on the weekly is a little bit more positive because of the long green candle. This is actually a variation of a morning star. Okay, normally the morning star has one small real body. This has two, which I like better. Again, you can get this information within our education. There are signals here, again, to keep this short, but essentially you want this green candle to get more than halfway into the red real body. Okay, let's look at a currency. Okay, let's look at the euro. Again, I want to try to keep this to a half an hour, So I'll be on a little couple more minutes. You know, it's late for many of you. Okay, let's look at a popular one. Let's look at the Euro US. Okay, we'll look at a daily. Okay, a bullish engulfing pattern right here. Also a morning star pattern. So the fact that we have 3 lows there beside the more bullish engulfing pattern morning stars makes that as first support. Long-term trend is down. Short-term trend is positive though. A little bull channel over here. Again, this is on the euro. Fibonacci retracements are especially widely followed in Forex. So you can see how the 50% retracement has become first resistance, and then above that, the 68%, 62%. But I think if you get above the 50% retracement, the next key resistance potentially would be right around here. But a nice bottom here. Here again, another example is why candles are so important to give you those early reversal signals. Another high wave candle, long upper and lower shadow. The market is confused. Was it confused the prior session? Nope, the bears were in charge. So within one session, when you knew how to understand the candles, you get a sense of the dynamics between the supply and demand. Obviously, supply was really, the bears were really in charge here. Here, it became more neutral. And based on that, the odds of the market reversing are higher on this high wave candle session than they are on this bearish day, all within one session. Look at Amazon. Long-term trend neutral, actually down, but the 20 is converging to the 50, so I wouldn't be concerned about a long-term trend being down. A doji, but similarly to the other markets we looked at, the doji is at a new high close or holding the close, so that's still a little positive. However, the caution, where would you see the first resistance? Right, the window. And by the way, I don't use these moving averages as support or resistance. I just use it as trend lines. I will look at Bollinger Bands though as potential support or resistance. Again, I won't, I just want to keep it. I want to keep the Western technicals very simple today. Okay, so the only concern is that the doji is within a window, and I'd really only be a little nervous by close under the doji's close. Okay. However, and this would kind of be one of the tests we do. Remember, with mycandlecharts.com, a paid membership, we do chart challenges. So if I had this as a chart challenge, I would say, where would you see first support? All right, and I would give you a little hint. I would draw, let me see if I can make a little box here. I know there's a way to do something like that. Yep. So, well, maybe there's, let's see, bear with me. All right, so I'd make this rectangle here. Okay, and I would say based on this, where would you find first support and why? And then what you do is you put the player on pause. If you're a member of mycandlecharts.com and you take that chart challenge, we do a lot of these, you put the player control on pause and then you think about it and then you hear my answer. So what would you think? Play the music for Jeopardy. Dum, 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 dum. You know, that music for Jeopardy, by the way, it took Merv Griffin, who wrote it, he owned the show 15 minutes to do. And I think he gets, because it's really copyrighted, his estate gets, I think, either $5 or $10 million a year from people who have to pay royalty fees. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, so we have one at 1900. Right, so it's a breakout. Okay, so Jose, you got it. It's a breakout, but what does that mean for support? Okay, what do I use a lot? Okay, and the answer is, so now you put the player on play. Let me get rid of the box here. I know how to get rid of the box. Here we go. Delete. Okay, look at this. Remember what I said. As long as you have two zones of resistance, 1, 2, you could use change of polarity once the market closes above it. And magic, look what became support. Okay, so this is what education is all about. Okay, and let's look at Apple. Okay, this is not a dark cloud cover. Long-term trend is down. Short-term trend I'm having is up neutral. You know, it is pretty much in a bull channel, but I don't like the fact that the market did not make new highs. Again, this is not a dark cloud cover, so I'm not too bearish because the dark cloud cover, the close has to get under the middle of the green, candle, which it didn't. So here, I would use the rising window as potentially first support. Resistance a little bit more of a challenge. I don't have any clean-cut resistance areas. Let me look at a weekly to see if I see anything. Obviously, the falling window here, 310, but let's see. So no main, you know, for resistance, obviously, we could be looking up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a dark cloud cover. Over here. All right. So with this, you know, see if we get over here. Okay, so here's an example of the Nifty candle scanner. Okay, we have it for different platforms, but let me show you. Let me get rid of here just to show you how great it works. So this happens to be on Trade Navigator, so I'm highlighting dark cloud cover. So notice over here, I'm going to highlight dark cloud cover. Okay. All right. Now notice there's an arrow here. That's a dark cloud cover. So you potentially would be nervous here, especially, and I'll show you, you know, this you could see by yourself, but we had a falling window over here, the W. So here you had a dark cloud cover confirming the falling window. So, and especially the next day, the market stalled. That's a warning sign. Let me get rid of here. However, notice, although the dark cloud cover is highlighted, okay, highlighted, and there's a red arrow there. Is there a red arrow over here? No. So immediately, you know it's not a dark cloud cover. And what's great is, you know, what if this red candle got to like over here? You'd have to mentally figure out, well, what's the range between the opening and closing? Take the midpoint. Then you have to see if the closing was under the midpoint. And especially on an intraday chart, by the time you figure that out, the market could move already. All you got to do is click dark cloud cover, boom, and you could see if it's a dark cloud cover. So a really great tool, you know, for fast analysis. So I promised I wanted to keep it to about a half an hour or so. What I'm going to do now is just turn it over to Paul to answer your questions and a few concluding comments. Thanks so much for joining me, and I hope you found this useful. Again, even if you don't trade this markets, I hope you picked up some tidbits of education that you could use in your own trading and investing. So over to you, Paul. Oh, by the way, I want to show you this. You can discuss that, Paul.
Okay.
He emailed you about this.
Yep, Troy. I know there's a lot of people have some questions, and I'll get to those in a couple minutes about how we can help out. I love this quote. Troy sent it in and gave us her permission. Just so you guys know, in Troy's actual email, he put actual dollar amounts in both how much he lost initially and then how much he gained in just those first 3 days of April. So it was last week, I believe it was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So what he says, I love what you guys are doing through our Thrive campaign. It helped me a lot since he started. Even with the markets not being normal, I've been able to understand how to recoup my loss in the stocks that he had sold for a loss and recouped most of it from trading options using candlestick strategies. This month so far, and he wrote this to me last Saturday, which I believe was April 4th. In just 3 days, meaning 3 market days, he's already profited from those strategies. And again, in the actual Troy emailed me, he put the dollar amounts, and we can't put those in for legal reasons, but it's so critical that you have that right education. And we're here to provide that for you. What we've decided to do, and we've been doing this for a few weeks really, and this offer will be going away shortly. We don't have an exact date, but this offer is going to be coming to an end soon. We're giving tremendous offers on a lot of our great products. So real fast, number one, the My Candle Charts community, it's normally $149 a month. We're giving you the ability to sign up for the first month for just $99. Now, if you don't like it for whatever reason, cancel it. You won't be billed again. You would be paying $99 for the first month, where, again, every day, Monday through Friday, we do daily market recaps. On Mondays and Thursdays, we do strategy session. So on Monday, if you become a member now, on Monday, you'll be able to request your specific market to be analyzed by Steve. Steve will be analyzing the markets of our members' choice. So again, we're offering that just for $99. If you like it and you want to upgrade to our annual plan, you get a better savings. We'll even give you that $99 that you paid for the first month as credit towards the upgrade to the annual plan. Again, we're giving you the whole first month for just $99, where again, Monday through Friday, we also offer a morning trade setup video, a trade that we're doing or possibly doing that day, every day. If you get just one idea of what to do or what not to do, don't you think that $99 investment in your own education, especially knowing many people around the world are working from home and have the time to watch these sessions? By the way, they are recorded, so even if you can't be there live when we're doing them, you can go back in and watch them later. Second item, the Express class. If you want to learn candles the right way from Steve Nison, you don't want to learn candles anywhere else, you want to learn them from Steve, we have a 3.5-hour online class. We don't ship you anything. You make that purchase, you're able to have access immediately. This works anywhere around the world. We just had a group from India, actually, a group of, I believe it was 25 or 30 traders. Everyone came in and purchased that Express class. We have it again, special promotion, no coupon code needed. We've already drastically discounted it. You have a whole year to be able to access it. And at the end of that 3.5-hour class, we actually give you a quiz to take to make sure you understand everything. Again, nothing shipped. You don't have to pay shipping costs. You don't have to wait for it. You have immediate access now. You could watch it within minutes. Third item, the mega package. This is for the people that say, I want to have an income from trading. I want to make money from trading and or investing. This isn't just for people that are going to stare at their computer all day. This is for people that want to keep an eye on their IRA accounts, their 401ks. They want to trade. They want to invest. They want to swing trade. They might even want to day trade a little bit. It doesn't matter because it works on all time frames. It works on all markets. Okay, so whether you're in the US, Australia, India, Europe, Asia, South America, you name it. Again, we have students from 85 countries. Mega package, we have a special offer on it. It is a comprehensive set, takes you from beginner level all the way to expert level. And yes, we provide ongoing support. Anyone who owns the mega package, if you have questions, you can pick up the phone and call me. If you have more questions that I cannot answer, I will make sure I get the answer from Steve and we will get back to you. Okay? Fourth item on that list. If there is another product, and we have many different products, including that Nison candle scanning software Steve talked about. We have a swing trading educational series. We have intraday trading. We have multiple different what we call special topic sessions that teach you things specifically on a special topic. For example, how to use multiple time frames to your advantage. Another great one, exit strategies, knowing how to get out of a position. Next one I love, trade management and Nison trading principles, meaning Steve goes over for a full hour the trading principles that he uses. So you can utilize that coupon code THRIVE to save 30% off of almost any other product that we have inside of the full library at candlechartsacademy.com. The link, we just got a whole bunch of people asking for that link. It's right there on the screen in the red on the right, candlecharts.com/thrive. Why do we call it that? Because we know the people that take advantage of the education will thrive. We've had people buying our mega package, for example, in the last couple of weeks and taking advantage. You know how many times we get the question from people that don't know candles saying, hey, is this the right time to buy into the market? Hey, is this the wrong time? Should I sell? Should I buy? You'll be able to make those decisions for yourself with the knowledge you'll get from our tools. So the link is candlecharts.com/thrive. When you go to that link, you'll see those offers that I just talked about. You'll be able to click on where it says learn more now underneath each of those offers, and it'll take you to the more information about that. So what I'm going to do now, answer any questions that you have, and be more than happy to take any questions. I know there are people in the room that have questions that would love to be taking advantage of these great market opportunities. We have people in our database that are doing extremely well in these volatile markets. And guess what? You too can do the same. So question on candle scanning software, get this often. When do I get the software shipped to me? Again, we don't ship anything right now, right? We are going to provide you with the candle scanning software online. You follow the steps to download and install, and you are ready to go. Perfect opportunity. I always like doing the download and install when the market is closed so that you have the opportunity to download, install it, kind of play around with it, change it around, change the colors, anything that you want to do. And you could follow all the resources that we provide you to do all of that, how to install, how to change the color schematics, how to set up a scan, how to do all those great things, and then have it ready to go when the markets reopen up on Monday. We have this great break tomorrow with the markets being closed, at least here in the United States, the stock market, I should say. I know Forex is still open. But take advantage of that time for education. The Express class, like I said, 3.5 hours. You could purchase that now and have it watched by tomorrow twice if you wanted to. And again, there's no limit. You can watch it as many times as you'd like. That coupon code THRIVE, I just got asked, can I use that on multiple items? Yes, you can. You can use it for more than one item. For example, our Frontline Forex series, you could purchase a volume at a time, or if you wanted to buy all 3 volumes together for a bundle discount, and then on top of that, the 30% off, you can certainly do that. So we have a series on options. We have a series on Forex. We have our mega package, as you can already see there. And again, the mega package is offered in a pay in full, as well as a 2 payment plan available on the mega package. So if you have other questions, type those in. I think I answered any questions that you have regarding programs and services. I do encourage you as well to follow us on social media. We've sent out a few emails about that. We have accounts at Facebook, at Twitter, at Instagram, and YouTube. The video of this will be going up on YouTube shortly, as well as the video of this will be added to that link at candlecharts.com/thrive. I encourage you, if you do have questions, to email me, paul@candlecharts.com, and I'll just type that in right now. Even though it's already on the screen, I'm just going to type it in now so that everyone can have it. Another thing I am going to tell you is I had a few people tell me today that my email went into their spam. If you email me and you don't get a response back relatively quickly, meaning within that day, please check your spam, but also add my email to your whitelist or add a filter on to make sure that my emails go directly into your inbox, because I do reply back rapidly. So if you have a question and you don't get an answer from me, please check spam first, add my email to your whitelist, and then we can do everything we can to help you out. If you're not sure, somebody just said, I'm not sure what I want to trade, what I should do. That's where that customize your trading bundle comes into play. Now, again, Steve just shows, this is what you see on the screen now is a screenshot. But if you go to that link at candlecharts.com/thrive and you scroll down just a little bit, you would be able to fill in a quick form that says your name and your email and tells me a little bit about the type of trading and what type of goals you have in your trading and investing. And then once I get that, I will turn around and reply back to you with the actual recommendation based on what our students do the best. Okay? We know that every student and every product that we have is able to do the best when they have the right learning tools. Okay? All of our tools were created based on feedback from our students. So the mega package, the express class, even my candle charts and our software, all designed based on feedback and improved upon by feedback from our students. So if you want to thrive, financially with the markets, if you have time now that you didn't have before because you're not commuting to work, at least temporarily, take advantage of that time. Get the education so that when things go back to normal, hopefully they do, as far as, public health and everything else, thrive. And I can't say it any better than that one word is we want you to thrive. We're helping people thrive. I am getting emails every day now from people that have taken advantage of education and people saying things like, I wish I would have done this 2 months earlier. I wish I would have done this last year. I would have been able to save myself some money and even make that much more. So we're here to assist you. Steve has been doing this for decades. Brian, Sil, myself have been doing this for decades. So things are there. The link, again, candlecharts.com/thrive. I will stay on for any other last minute questions. What I'm going to do is turn off the recording